Good morning, everyone. So let's look at Eurjpy for possible trade guidance. On 31st, we'll be having a data report coming in from Bank of Japan. We'll be expecting rate policy. We'll be looking at a monetary policy statement, BOJ policy outlook, and consumer confidence, and housing statistics. So BOJ press conference will be watched for forward guidance. And we look at from the top left, we'll see ECB interest rate decision. As at 11 June, deposit remains at 2.0. Main refinancing remains at 2.15%, and marginal lending rate 2.4%. While Bank of Japan has maintained a 0.5 interest rate decision since its last meeting, and Tokyo CPI YY remains 2.9, sustainable above target inflation. And the next meeting, like I said, will be on 31st, which will act as a catalyst, and traders will be watching for possible trade guidance and a clear directional bias after the data report. So let's dive straight to the structure of the market as we marry fundamental analysis with the structure of market, and we come down to apply our mindset strategy, which is borrowed from the character of hunters. So we look at the structure on daily time frame. You'll see that the price have created two SR structure, SR1, SR2, break up that structure, retest 1, retest 2, and that puts that ascending trend line on a supply roof. So here is your new supply roof if price makes its way into that zone. So the next thing worthy of note is to see how price has broken out from RS1, RS2, break of RS structure, demand 1, break of a demand floor, and price return here to respect as a supply roof and technically puts here as a demand floor. And we have another technical demand floor. After we clone that structure, it puts here again as another demand floor on technical. Remember, trading is 100% probability. 100% probability. And if you clone the structure and you bring it to the roof, the top layer resistance structure, that puts here as a next supply roof. And we have that structure broken. So if price returns here, here is your new demand floor. That makes here a new demand floor. But I believe that the buying will continue until the resistance roof is updated, where we have price here RS1, RS2, and I expect another RS3 in this zone. And if price dips itself into that structure, you will see a massive correction, which is in the likely fashion of Eurjpy. So if you have a push into the structure, you will get a pullback into here to use here as a next demand floor for critical decision. And do not forget that 31st will be a very strong fundamental data coming from the Bank of Japan, and we may likely see a stronger hawkish stance, possibly bond buyback, and possibly maybe we don't know what if they were going to tamper with the rates, but I believe that the Bank of Japan will continue to stay hawkish in order to create some kind of a trading balance between Japanese yen across all pairs in the financial window. So what I'm looking at here, it's I'll be basing my patience and my strategy to wait on 31st data print for forward guidance. I'll be looking at what data reports will look like. Then from there, I know where to go. But based on structure of the market, you can see that we have a breakout. And if you look quickly on your line chart, you will see how we have broken from a daily supply roof, which will have turned to a critical demand floor. And if you look here, you will see a breakout structure, and you see what price I've made out of it. The first we have is here. This is a clean daily breakout and a potential demand floor. So in the future, if price returns into that level, you are looking out for a buy opportunity. after price creating a series of resistance at this level. You can see it. You can see that resistance at this level. So you see a resistance at this level. You see another resistance at this level. We have here as a resistance, we have here as a support, and the break of a support structure, price came back here, broke the support structure, turned it to a supply roof, and you have seen price that if we come back, I will look for a buy opportunity there. That is if I'm if I'm looking out for it. But on technical, that remains a buy. That remains a buy position. That remains a buy position based on what price have done in the previous price action. Here is a buy floor. So if price returns here, that's another demand floor where we hope to correct some of this bullish run against the Japanese yen by European Central Bank. So I think we're looking out for a push into the structure. A push into the structure will likely call for correction. But however, we'll look at what 31st will bring, and we'll look out for forward guidance from what the Bank of Japan will do. But the most important thing we are going to look out for is a BOJ press conference. The BOJ conference will be viewed, and we will listen attentively to see and monitor the rhetorics and the body language. The more hawkish they stand, the more likely Eurjpy will take a reversal. But at the moment, I think we might have a little push again into a key critical supply roof on the ascending trend line. And if that happens, that will be an opportunity to look out for a correction. But however, the top layer resistance remains a key area to watch in the price action of Eurojpy on a daily time frame. So what that means is that we'll be watching this roof for a potential reversal. So as price taps into this structure, most likely we'll be seeing that the market might want to make a pullback, as this represents a pivotal moment in the price movement of Eurojpy, and this price action cannot be overlooked. That happened in 2024. So as price pushes into the zone, you begin to reconsider if you're looking out for a sell opportunity. So do have a good day. I want you to start strong. Start with a very strong mindset, and I want you to end the week in a perfect trade. I'm maintaining this week on a perfect streak of no loss. My hope and target this week is to end this week in a 5-day winning streak on all platforms, and I wish you the same. Bye bye for now.